Alright, time for, well, the biggest, intensest match of the tournament so far, I think, and quite possibly that will be, with a very, very, very good player, Fabian. Shoot. Governor, Lighthouse, Gardens, So, ill-gotten gains is the big thing on this board, and does not bode well. It does not bode well for me that I'm second player. Now he has 3-4. Good to know that Lighthouse doesn't actually protect you from... Let me make sure he's okay with me videoing it. And let me make sure he's not watching the video. He is not. Great. So, the thing here is to monument into ill-gotten gains into gardens. There's just not that much to it. Now, this is an interesting decision point for him. I'm not going to have this interesting decision point because it's very clear what I want. He has a few reasonable options here. He can take a silver, he can take a monument, he can take a gardens. He could take a moneylender, but I just don't really see the point. The trashing's not going to help him in the long run, and it doesn't give him any money more than a monument or silver would. I mean, I guess potentially on this board you could go for some governor shenanigans. He's gone for the monument, risking the terminal collision, which will probably determine the game. And ooh, he wasn't able to hit there. Okay, ill-gotten gains. Ill-gotten gains, just going to try to power through. And, okay, I have a huge ill-gotten gains lead, but the thing is, he's already gotten 2 gardens on me. Oh, well, this is really big. I've picked up a provincing hand. This is really just a luck game. But I picked up a provincing hand here, which is just going to be really, really big for me. I suppose I still want a silver at this point. And another provincing hand, and that's just going to be game over. I mean, I actually think that there's quite a lot of stuff going on in these ill-gotten games, and this is, I think, a good example of that. But it's just not going to happen for him here based on the luck. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick up gardens over ill-gotten gains. This is one of the skill things that I think is important in ill-gotten gains games. Picking the last ill-gotten gains up here doesn't do that much for me. Picking up gardens does a ton for me, because it's actually what I'm going to use to win. The attack isn't so important, and whatnot. So I've got to cut the victory with gardens. He's picking up the last gardens here, I presume. Well, I think he should anyway. There's nothing else he can do. And just to pray I can't get to 5. He's in a bad way, though. He's in a real bad way. Because I've got a 5-point lead. Now, if he knew what I had, he'd go for the gardens in a heartbeat. And then, well, actually, how many cards are there? Normally I would keep track of this stuff, but I know I can see it. So, now I don't really want him to be able to see it. So is he going to go for that? He's gone for a duchy. Got to pick up a copper here. Now I need details. Okay. He has 37. I've just hit 40. Great. Which means I've got only a 4-point lead. Dear Lord. Okay. Gotta pick up the last gardens. Which gives me an 8-point lead, and I'm gonna have the... See, it was really key, actually, I think, that I was picking up gardens over ill-gotten gains at this point. Because if I'd picked up ill-gotten gains, he could have backdoored into the gardens, taking up too many of the gardens, and that's just going to kill my victory chances. Because they're just going to be so much more powerful than duchies in a game like this. Unfortunately for him, I can get the last ill-gotten gains here and win. But I actually think this is a great example of how there is a lot of skill in these ill-gotten gains games. Although, I have to say, in this case, it was mostly bad luck for him. So I'm quite happy to have this. Let's pull the log. Okay, now this is a much more interesting little deck. Couple things. Spice Merchant is terrible for big money. Basically what it does is it cleans out your coppers, and it does it sort of slowly. If you use it for the cards and actions, then it gives you, well, it replaces your hand size, and all it's done is it's cleaned out your coppers, which is nice sometimes, a lot of times, especially if you're making a big action combo that you really want to get all that treasure out. But, well, it's just not that strong, especially for something big money like. I should check out the black market here while I'm talking to you guys. Bishop, Courtyard, Embassy, Haggler, Highway, Hunting Party, Masquerade. Nothing that I'm too afraid of in singles. Masquerade would be annoying for someone to pick up, but I don't think it's worth it. My plan is to go Bureaucrat here, and then into Caravan, maybe Treasury. Now he's gone for Spice Merchant. I think that's a pretty clear mistake because it's going to be a big money kind of game. I have not gotten the best luck here though, but we'll see. Oh well, I guess this does give me a huge chance to get a gold here. I just don't see what he's doing by trashing these coppers. The other thing is if you use the money and buy option on your Spice Merchant, then that's sort of nice, especially if there's no plus buy. But in a big action chain, which is the case where you really want the Spice Merchant to start with, in that big action chain, you may want the buys. You're going to get rid of all your coppers probably, so at some point you're going to want to use the buys to buy more coppers actually, which seems a little counterintuitive, but that is a sort of secret little strong thing that I found. I think I've got a pretty good lead here too. I just don't see... Now, I actually think Caravan's a really overrated card too. Not that it's not good, and it's almost always good, but... I don't know. I just don't think that it gives you all that much. Well, certainly, actually, in big money, I should say this. In a big money kind of game, it does not really do it for you. Well, you don't want to buy it right away. I'll say that. Even if you want to compete for the pile, it's better to wait after a reshuffle and get a couple of silvers before you start rushing those caravans, because it's like a quasi-lab, but it's not as good. And I've got a big lead here. Wait, I have a big lead? No, I have a little lead. I'm a turn up on him. From being, well, and I'm second player, so that's going to help some. But see, now he's trashing a silver for cards and actions, which is just something you really don't want to do. His economy is coming to a standstill. If I can, if I can not lose out to him in the short term. So here's somewhere that I definitely don't want to break PPR. He's running out of money. He's really greening. So I have a much better long-term deck. Great. He only has a silver here. Where's his money in this deck? Well, okay, he's gotten the last duchy. Basically, I need both these provinces, but I think I can do that. He's just running out of money. It's his issue. He's probably going to buy Great Hall. He needs to actually... The thing here is, all that matters is the two provinces. Unless he's going to buy so many... Unless he's going to buy so many little Great Halls and estates, all that's going to matter is the provinces. So, now he realizes that too, so we're both loading up. The reason I took the mining village there is that one-shot effect is the best way of trying to pick up the VP points real sure. Now, the bureaucrat's attack is actually going to help me here. I want to keep top-decking this treasury. Couldn't make it there, which is really good for me. Really good for me. I'll take this province. See, his deck was overgreened, I think largely because the Spice Merchant was eating up all his economy. And boom, presto, changeo. This is one of the things about Spice Merchant. And I think he actually slightly misplayed it here. I'll try to go over that later, either in a later video going through the log, or at least in the forum going over this.